What is an NFT? In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what an NFT is, because honestly, we were looking them up and they are really confusing. So in this video, you're going to learn exactly what they are and why they are valuable. So a non-fungible token, also known as an NFT, is a type of digital token or asset. A common analogy is to think of these as digital trading cards or digital paintings. Whenever you buy an NFT, you are basically just buying the rights to that specific asset. Now, non-fungible means that it can't be changed whenever it is created. You can't split it up and it must be distinguishable from something else. Unlike Bitcoin, a Bitcoin is the exact same as another Bitcoin. With NFTs, they are never the same. They're always different and also a token. It's just a small piece of data that you own. Together, an NFT is a token that you own that doesn't change throughout time. So that's the basics, but when it comes down to the technicals, what exactly is an NFT? Well, NFTs are actually just a piece of data that is owned by an address, and whoever has the password to that address, they own that piece of data, and this piece of data can be bought and sold to different addresses. This exact data gets verified on a blockchain, and you can check the owner's history since it's always trackable. For example, this CryptoKitty that sold for $600,000 is essentially just a small URL that is owned by an address. The only thing that the person owns is a piece of data. Now that piece of data points to a server somewhere that usually hosts an image, and technically whoever owns that server could change the image, and it's important to know what you are actually buying when you buy an NFT. To summarize, if you are buying a piece of data that points to a server that hosts either an image or a GIF, you should know that the server could change, or that the image and GIF could change. It's actually the specific piece of data that you actually own on the blockchain, not the access to the server or the image, but rather that tiny piece of data that points to the server. So you are kinda a small piece of data that represents something larger, kind of like buying a stock. You are not buying the whole company, and unless it's dividend stock, you're not actually getting anything from it. So that brings us to the question: why would you want to buy an NFT? There's many reasons, but right now the main reason most people are buying is because they see NFTs as collectibles in the investment category. So let's go over 4 main things that make an NFT valuable. Number 1. First, just like Bitcoin is so popular because it was the first cryptocurrency, the first NFTs of specific creators or businesses will also have value. For example, Pokemon cards are quickly gaining popularity, and the most expensive cards are those that were produced in the first edition. So let's say if you have the first United States NFT, it will likely have some perceived value. The second thing that makes an NFT valuable is its utility, which in other words is the real-world benefits. So imagine if Elvis Presley was still alive and he sold 50 NFTs. Now by owning one of them, you could have lifetime access to any of the shows that he participated in. Now these NFTs would quickly become popular and very expensive due to their real-world benefits. Personally, this is the only reason I would buy an NFT if it had real-world benefit. And I think in the future, almost all NFTs will evolve to have this sort of aspect. Creators will sell NFTs for income and in return have a membership community or do a monthly lunch meeting or something like that. The third thing that makes an NFT valuable is if it's unique or rare. For example, think of the Mona Lisa. Anyone can have a copy of the Mona Lisa in the room. But only one person, or a museum in this case, can hang up the real painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Now the same goes for the original Constitution of the United States or a Babe Ruth signed baseball. They are rare. Imagine if Stephen Hawking only minted 3 NFTs. They would be very valuable because there's only 3 originals, even if they're just pictures of the universe. Other people could have that picture, but they wouldn't have the original one minted by Stephen Hawking. The last thing that makes an NFT valuable is ownership history. So for example, what's your favorite celebrity? Personally, mine is Robert Downey Jr. So let's say he decides to sell his leather jacket and buy a new one. Well, when he first bought that leather jacket, maybe he paid $200 for it, but I might pay $800 just to have the same jacket that Robert Downey Jr. wore. Now the same goes for NFTs. Someone might be willing to pay $1 million for an image of a duck that Obama owned at one point. So keeping these in mind, you should think about what actually makes an NFT valuable. If an NFT is the first thing of its kind, if it has real-world benefit, if it's rare, and if someone important owned it. These are questions to ask yourself during evaluation of an NFT. For example, does buying Jack Dorsey's first tweet for $2.5 million fit any of these? Let's go down the list. Is it a first? Yes, it actually is the first NFT in that category. Second, Does it have utility? It does not. You don't get to change the tweet, and you don't get to advertise your business or something like that. Third, is it unique? Yes, it is unique. Lastly, what about its ownership history? Well, this is actually a no. Yes, it is Jack's first tweet, but nobody famous has actually owned the specific NFT yet. To fit this category, for example, if it was my tweet and then PewDiePie owned it, then the answer would have been yes. But in this example, it only checks 2 of the boxes. So if you buy his first tweet, you're basically betting that someone else in the future will want to buy it for a higher price, because holding that NFT does absolutely nothing for you. There is no utility. You're buying it as a novelty or as an investment. Unless one day Jack says whoever holds that NFT, he'll have lunch once a month with the owner. Then the value would skyrocket. So now we kind of went over what they are and how they work. Let's go over how popular they quickly became. Just look at this Google Trends data of searches in February and March in 2021. In fact, that's what inspired this video. We knew absolutely nothing. So we created this video to help myself and you. Because let's be honest, it's a mess. So if this video clears anything up for you, make sure to click that like button. Also, it would help a lot if you might consider subscribing as well. Now, I'd like to show you the 11 most valuable NFTs. Now, this might get a little rambly, and you could skip ahead if you don't want to listen to them. Number 1. CryptoPunk 6965 was sold for 800 Ethereum. Next, we have CryptoPunk 4156, which sold for 650 Ethereum. And third, we have CryptoPunk 2890, which sold for 605 Ethereum. Then we have the famous dragon CryptoKitty, which sold for 600 Ethereum. CryptoPunk 6487, which sold for 550 Ethereum. Next up, we have some land in the Decentraland world. Around 12,600 square meters, which sold for 514 Ethereum. Next is something called Hashmask 9939, which sold for 420 Ethereum. This really interesting car concept, the F1 Delta Time, actually sold for 415 Ethereum. Another CryptoPunk sold for 400 Ethereum, and an actual lot of land in the Decentraland world sold for 345 Ethereum. And the famous Nyan Cat sold for 300 Ethereum. So another important question to ask about NFTs is, can someone copy your NFT? Well, technically yes. Someone can copy an NFT just like any other piece of artwork, but the original NFT address can be traced back to the original creator, since all NFTs have a log to their transaction history. It's also important to note that someone could create a new NFT that points to the exact same hosting address that the original NFT has. The value in an NFT is not the image, it's the specific piece of data. Just like I can make a free throw at my local court and LeBron James could toss one while 30,000 people are watching. Even though these are basically the same thing, one has way more value based on what other people think of it. I may be doing the exact same thing LeBron is doing, but people value his free throw way more than mine. Another question you might have moving into the NFT space is, how do you buy an NFT? Because purchasing an NFT is actually quite simple, and it's probably the same difficulty as purchasing stock of a company. Now, you should know most NFTs are sold on marketplaces, kinda like eBay and Amazon. One thing that might be a drawback of buying NFTs is that they are usually purchased with Ethereum, so you'll likely need to own some actual Ethereum before you purchase a CryptoKitty or an NBA Top Shot. Buying cryptocurrency and trading it to a wallet that you can buy an NFT usually takes some technical skill on transferring crypto, because if you do it incorrectly, you could lose all your money in the transaction. So here are the 4 most commonly used NFT exchanges that allow you to buy and sell NFTs. app.rarible.com, niftygateway.com, OpenSea.io, and superrare.co. So whenever you go to buy an NFT, the first step is to create an account on that specific website. Step number 2 is that you'll either have to buy crypto on another exchange and then transfer it to the wallet on that exchange. NFT wallets are very similar to any other crypto wallet. They usually have a public and a private key. And for those wanting the technicals, most are based on the ERC-721 protocols. Lastly, you can actually bid like an auction and pay for whatever NFT that you're attempting to buy. And if you win, the NFT will be added into your account and then stored in your wallet. Which brings us to the next question. Where do you store your NFT? Because now that you have purchased your NFT, you are probably wondering where the heck you store it. Well, you store it in a wallet. You'll want to make sure that it's safe and accessible so you can show it to your friends. The best way to store your NFTs is on a hardware wallet, something along the lines of a Ledger Nano, where it can be offline and protected, but if you're wanting to keep it online, here are some online apps that host wallets for you: metamask.io and trustwallet.com. I hope you found my explanation about NFT useful, and that it helped clear up some of the confusion surrounding the NFT market. If it did help, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my other videos about the crypto world. See you in the next one!